beginning with the significant new developments for the Day of Judgment. Even though the January 20th edition of Raw only featured a 2-minute backstage section on the Judgment Day, it was still quite important because it contained a lot of setup for several possible future plot lines. The first major plot point here was the intersection of Judgment Day and American Made. Since Dominik Mysterio had offered to assist him with his Penta and Luchador issue, Chad Gable informed Kathy Kelly that he was en route to meet with him. Additionally, we witnessed the exchange between Dominik and Chad Gable at the start of the backstage portion of Judgment Day. When Gable questions Dominik about the assistance he provided, Dominik hands Chad Gable a piece of paper that appears to be a phone number. Chad Gable is reassured by Dominik Mysterio that he may get assistance and practice his lucha libre techniques from this man. After Gable left the room, Dominik explained that he had done him this favor so that American Made would owe them one when they needed it later. It does not appear that Dominik was trolling or playing around with the information he gave Gable, and Gable leaves happy with this number in his hands. It appears that Dominik did Chad Gable a great favor by providing him with the contact details for this enigmatic person who sounds very much like a professional in lucha libre themselves. This exchange and the moment that followed raised the intriguing plot question of whose number Dom provided to Chad Gable. Gable is going to call up who? Here at Wrestling World CC, we all adore enigmatic plots, and this one is no exception. There are also some strong hints as to who this person is. First, we can cross off the fact that, whoever it is, Dominik verified that they are a man, so that's a given. Dominik also attested to the fact that they are professional lucha libre wrestlers, which, when taken as a whole, is a wrestling style and genre with roots in Latin culture. Thus, it appears that our enigmatic character is a Latino man who is either already a part of one of the WWE brands or who, through this plot, is set to make their WWE television debut. Who might it be now that we have connected those hints? Recall that Dominik Mysterio was becoming quite close to Andrade and Santos Escobar just a year ago. Fans began to believe that Dominik would depart on Judgment Day to create a faction with Andrade and Santos because he was spending so much time with them, but it never materialized. Dominik is still close friends with both of those men, though. On that piece of paper, is the number of Andrade or Santos Escobar ready to assist Chad Gable with his understanding of lucha libre? Since those two are Dominik Mysterio's closest ties to the lucha libre community, it is impossible to rule out the possibility that they are the number on the paper. Fans are also questioning if the phone number might belong to a clandestine LWO member. Although the LWO is a babyface faction, Dominik might know someone there who is prepared to work behind the group's back to assist Chad Gable with his problem. Fans even question whether Dominik handed Chad Gable the number of Rey Mysterio. Additionally, even though it would be a wonderful twist to somehow lead to Penta vs. Rey Mysterio, Rey will never assist a nasty and horrible person like Chad Gable. Helping someone like that isn't in Rey's nature, which is why it seems like it has no chance of being Rey Mysterio. Additionally, people are talking about the extremely intriguing possibility of Dominik providing the number of Rey Fénix's brother, Chad Gable, who also happens to be Penta. Who better to assist Chad Gable with his problem than someone who knows Penta's wrestling style and is very close to him? Bringing Fénix into the fold would be very crazy, possibly even going against his brother. Rey Fénix is now dealing with a number of contract concerns pertaining to the remaining time on his AEW contract, which is the only problem with this idea and theory. Nobody really knows when Rey Fénix will be completely available, and reports indicate that he is still struggling to get out of that AEW contract. Thus, that is the primary barrier to that Rey Fénix fan hypothesis. As Gable was leaving, he declared that he would become an expert in the dark arts of lucha libre, which has fans in a panic. Aleister Black's wrestling school is called Dark Arts, and he is now thought to be a free agent. Is it a hint that he will be returning to WWE? However, the list of prominent candidates whose numbers are on that piece of paper seems to be that. These are the names that look most plausible and logical, based on Dominik's discussion of the matter. He is convinced that the person listed on the document will support him and make Chad Gable pay them a huge debt. Dominik immediately starts a fresh storyline thread for himself following that. Adam Pearce offered them a tag team titles rematch against the War Raiders on Raw the next week, but Finn Balor is still injured from the street battle and won't be able to return in time for the match, according to J.D. McDonough. At that point, Liv Morgan interrupts by making a slight joke at Finn Balor, claiming that listening to him hasn't resulted in any recent victories. Dominik Mysterio then takes over and declares that he would replace Finn in the tag team titles battle against the War Raiders. Dominik says he doesn't think Finn Balor will mind at all and will be pleased if he and JD reclaim the group's championships. Liv Morgan smiles and responds that Finn won't be upset and will adore it when JD asks her if she thinks Finn will like that idea. In actuality, Liv Morgan is a perceptive and intelligent person. She knows that Finn would detest the thought of anyone, particularly Dominik Mysterio, taking his place in a title match, but she chooses to gaslight them instead because it's obvious that she has something else planned. She is essentially doing two things at once by lying and claiming that Finn loves it. Accepting that notion entitles her to simultaneously take advantage of Finn and Dominik. Liv puts pressure on Dominik since she knows Finn will be upset with him for replacing him in the match, something Liv would really like to see right now. Additionally, Liv would like seeing Finn unhappy about missing out on a rematch opportunity for the tag team titles without even competing. In this case, Finn and Dominik both lose out. Tension increases between Finn and Dominik as Finn loses his rematch without really competing. As Liv observes the mayhem from a distance, Liv commends Dominik for seemingly being the mastermind behind arranging the Chad Gable trade and filling in for Finn. Dominik stated that he also has a strategy for Liv Morgan, including how he will make amends and help her regain the Women's World title. Liv pulls Dominik out of the room by pulling on his hair after telling him that she knows he will make it up to her. Therefore, based on the full segment, it appears that Dominik Mysterio was the main actor who initiated the action. In addition to participating in the tag team titles bout and handling the situation with Chad Gable, Dominik also needs to mend his relationship with Liv Morgan. Not to mention that he will probably have to contend with a vengeful Finn Balor for replacing him and losing the tag team titles rematch. Dominik Mysterio will have his hands quite full over the next few weeks because he now has 4 enormous storylines hanging over his head. What do you think of today's story, though? It was a section full of excellent setup, and we'll see how everything comes together very soon. Please share your thoughts below, remember to subscribe with all alerts enabled, and hit like if you liked it. I appreciate you everyone watching. Lately, the Terror Twins have parted ways. Damian Priest became the newest star to enter the transfer window on last week's WWE SmackDown, officially joining the blue brand of WWE. Rhea Ripley, the WWE Women's World Champion, is still on WWE Raw, but he is no longer there. After Priest was announced to be joining SmackDown, Ripley wrote him a kind note. "You became my best friend after we were once strangers, staying with the same brands from the beginning, being inseparable gym and travel companions. You have consistently been one of my staunchest allies. I'm reluctant to let you go. However, I am eager to witness the punishment you receive." Ripley posted on X, previously Twitter, "Te amo, my Terror Twin. You became my best buddy after we were once strangers, staying with the same brands from the beginning, being inseparable gym and travel companions. You have consistently been one of my staunchest supporters. I'm reluctant to let you go. However, I am eager to witness the punishment you receive." Priest and Ripley have been buddies since WWE NXT, when they both spent the formative years of their WWE careers. Their shared tastes in fashion and music brought them together. Both Priest and Ripley were called up to the WWE main roster in 2021. Priest won the United States Championship, while Ripley was notable for winning the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Adam Edge Copeland requested that the two be placed in the Judgment Day stable the following year. Sadly, at the 2024 SummerSlam Premium Live event, they were later expelled from the group. Their personal friendship, however, remained unbroken. At the WWE Bash in Berlin, Ripley and Priest, who are now known as the Terror Twins, exacted revenge on their old stablemates by defeating them in both singles and tag matches. Priest's transfer to SmackDown, at least on TV, suggests that the Terror Twins will start their next chapter apart.